Good evening, and welcome to Daily Top Bulletin, bringing you the top 10 current affairs headlines in the most simple, clear, and exam-focused format for UPSC and competitive exams. Every headline is carefully selected to keep your preparation ahead of the competition. Let's begin with today's top 10 news. May 26, 2026. 1. International Relations. Quad foreign ministers launch key Indo-Pacific initiatives. What happened? The foreign ministers of the Quad grouping, India, US, Japan, Australia, met in New Delhi to strengthen maritime surveillance, protect infrastructure, and expand energy cooperation across the Indo-Pacific. Key facts to remember. Indo-Pacific Maritime Surveillance Cooperation Initiative and the Quad Ports of the Future Partnership were officially announced. A joint declaration explicitly condemned cross-border terrorism, referencing recent security incidents like the Pahalgam attacks. Attendees: S. Jaishankar, India; Marco Rubio, U.S. Secretary of State; Penny Wong, Australia; and Toshimitsu Motegi, Japan. 2. Economy and Strategic Trade. India and U.S. ink bilateral critical minerals deal. What happened? On the sidelines of the Quad meeting, India and the United States signed a landmark bilateral framework agreement to secure long-term, resilient supply chains for critical minerals and rare earth elements. Key facts to remember. Focuses on the entire life cycle of critical minerals, mining, processing, recycling, and joint investments. Aimed directly at reducing global supply chain dependence on China, which currently dominates rare earth elements processing. This aligns with India's membership in the Minerals Security Partnership, MSP. 3. Bilateral summits. India and Nordic countries form Green Technology Strategic Partnership. What happened? Following the third India-Nordic Summit held in Oslo, the Ministry of Commerce and the Press Information Bureau detailed the conversion of ties into a Green Technology and Innovation Strategic Partnership. The key facts to remember. Focus areas: renewable energy, green hydrogen, blue economy, Arctic research, and circular economy. Specific bilateral targets include partnering with Iceland for geothermal energy and fisheries, and Norway for maritime and Arctic exploration. Over the last decade, investment inflows from the Nordic region to India have increased by nearly 200%. 4. Governance and demographics. Kerala announces India's first dedicated department for the elderly. What happened? Responding to an unprecedented demographic transition, the newly elected government in Kerala announced the creation of a specialized department for elderly people, marking a first in India. Key facts to remember. Kerala is India's most rapidly aging state, driven by low fertility rates, high life expectancy, and massive outward migration of the youth. Feminization of aging, highlighting a key sociological trend. The sex ratio among those aged 80 and above in Kerala has reached a striking 1,651 women per 1,000 men, presenting distinct policy challenges regarding elder care and widow welfare. 5. Defense and indigenization. Defense Minister flags off Suryastra rocket launching system. What happened? Defense Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated a new private defense manufacturing complex by the Naib Group in Shirdi, Maharashtra, and flagged off India's first indigenous universal rocket launcher system, Suryastra. Key facts to remember. Suryastra, an indigenous guided rocket launcher system with a 300 kilometers range, developed under the Emergency Procurement Framework. It was successfully tested at the Integrated Test Range, ITR, in Chandipur, Odisha. It marks a major milestone in private sector participation under the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative in defense. 6. Science and technology. Indian researchers solve century-old chemistry puzzle with carbon-free ferrocene. What happened? Researchers in India achieved a global scientific breakthrough by successfully creating a completely carbon-free analog of the highly stable ferrocene molecule. Key facts to remember. Classic ferrocene, a landmark organometallic molecule comprising an iron atom sandwiched between two carbon-based cyclopentadienyl rings. The breakthrough. The Indian team substituted iron with osmium and replaced the traditional carbon rings with boron-based rings. Applications. This synthesis opens new paradigms in the development of advanced semiconductors, catalysts, and high-efficiency energy storage systems. 7. Defense tech and AI. Indian Army launches Q-Force and Kautilya digital platforms. What happened? To upgrade modern warfare and tactical capabilities, the Indian Army launched 2 critical software applications to streamline logistics and data intelligence. Key facts to remember. Q-Force, an integrated digital application designed to handle logistics, supply chain, and sustainment management across diverse terrains: desert, high-altitude, plains. Kautilya, an artificial intelligence (AI) powered command intelligence platform that uses natural language processing (NLP) to generate structured analytics for rapid battlefield decision-making. 8. Renewable energy. Ladakh LG approves 5-year extension for India's first geothermal project. What happened? The Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh approved a 5-year extension of the MoU with the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, ONGC, to accelerate construction on India's premier geothermal project. Key facts to remember. Located at Puga Valley in eastern Ladakh at an altitude exceeding 14,000 feet. The Phase 1 goal is a 1 megawatt electric MW pilot plant where ONGC will drill wells up to 1,000 meters deep to tap subsurface thermal energy. 9. Space sector. Department of Space approves 2 space tech common technical facilities. What happened? The Department of Space, DOS, granted approval to set up Advanced Common Technical Facilities, CTFs, in Gujarat and Tamil Nadu to scale up domestic private space industry capabilities. Key facts to remember. The facilities will provide open access testing, high-precision validation, and launch integration infrastructure to private space startups. Strategically located to support manufacturing hubs in western India and close to launch sites in southern India, Kulasakarapatanam/Sriharikota. 10. Fiscal federalism. 16th Finance Commission devolution debates intensify. What happened? Operational tracking of the 16th Finance Commission highlights the continuing balance between equity and efficiency in the horizontal distribution of union taxes to the states. Key facts to remember. The vertical devolution share has been maintained at 41% for the states. Equity versus efficiency. The 16th Finance Commission slightly tweaked the distribution framework, 70% equity versus 30% efficiency, compared to the 15th FC's 75-25 ratio. Poorer states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh receive higher shares via the 5% income distance metric, prompting structural requests for performance-linked fiscal discipline from industrial, southern states. Thank you for tuning in to Daily Top Bulletin. Stay updated, stay prepared, and stay ahead in your UPSC and competitive exam journey. We'll be back tomorrow with another set of the day's most important current affairs headlines. Until then, keep learning and keep growing. Good night, and see you in the next bulletin.